journey. Oh, yeah, it will be recorded otherwise. So, we have to rediscover our inner wisdom. That does not depend on age, whether you have gray hair or black hair, whether you color your hair or you don't color. The wisdom remains the same. But if you don't live in wisdom, you live in ignorance. And if you live in ignorance, then you are bound to suffer. Then you are bound to suffer. That is what we need to understand. We have to untie the knots. I was thinking just an hour ago that why people have lived their life. I think, I want to see you all are younger to me. Anyhow, so maybe 50 and younger than me. So you have lived 50 years of your age. Just take an example, 50 years. And in these 50 years, if you examine how many times you repeat the same thoughts which causes you the anxiety, stress and the suffering. We are going to repeat the same thought. Oh, you didn't see me, that's why I'm into anxiety, You don't care me. You don't love me. I hate you. Very common expressions, I'm jealous of you. Since the marriage, you were responsible, and you make the statement. You have already made it many a time, so you can make it. You can repeat, you can remember in your head. How long we are going to do it? We have been doing it for the last 50 years. So when you think like this, you awaken to the wisdom. Oh, let me drop this thought. Now the time has come to drop the causes of repeat stress and the reaction. Did you understand? The repeat stress and reaction comes from the same old habitual impulsive thoughts. You don't believe me, I realized it 50 years ago. Oh, you're still with him or her? Very good. You are a great guy. You are repeating the same thoughts. Now the time has come to live in peace and happiness, to introspect within. If we don't do this, we will die with the same repeated thoughts and, oh, I had only one. Did I tell you the story? Yes, I told you the story. A young guy, who got married at the age of 25, and at the age of the 26, he thought that I should kill my partner. Huh? Did you hear that? I told you. So then he is now, or she is now, you can take it either way. She is now 46. So he went to the master of the Eastern wisdom. He said that I should have killed. Well, okay. Master said, okay, go ahead. Then what happened? I waited for 20 years, and 20 years has passed, and still the partner is with me. But why you did not kill? Because my friend told me that you will get a prison time of 20 years. Now the 20 years have passed. I should have killed. I should have been free. Now, if you think, if you just analyze these thoughts and compare with the thoughts which has been repeated in your mind is causing the stress. You are killing yourself up. You are still living in a prison time. That's another prison time of the mind. Present time of the mind. We are imprisoned by the mind. Should I give you a couple of expressions? I learn from you guys. You guys tell me your experiences, so I remember it. Now I'm a single. Until he was with me. He always, cursed me. He always criticized. He always reacted, and I. That is why I divorced, and still I'm living a terrible life. Why? Because I'm suffering from loneliness. I said no. You are not getting a partner to fight with. That partner has left you because your mind is still thinking of the same thoughts. Are you getting it? We have no other. Eastern wisdom says no, think out of the box. Think out of the box means let me drop all the thoughts. Did you feel that I was not in stress in my 20s and 30s? Yes. Do I not remember all those events? Yes, I remember, minus the emotion. I remember as a fiction novel. Sometime I dig deep down and I narrate those events of my life. But now they don't cause any trouble to me. They don't cause. Memory is there, but memory with the suffering is not there. How can you forget any event that took place in your life? So the first thing, my friend, just drop blame, complain, game. The moment you blame, you complain, you react, the other comes to your mind. Now, anytime I see him or her, I get into tension. Really? Really? You are special? Does the situation outside causes you the trouble, or is your own mind with the repeated thoughts of the past impression causes you the problem? John is also nodding his head. He agrees with me. Thank God. do you see that? So I have to get rid of this belief. The moment these thought enters into my mind, I have to ask mind, how many times you have repeated this thought? And how many times you went into anxiety? Is it the right time to still think of those thoughts pertaining to the experiences, bitter or pleasure, whatever it is? Oh, let me get rid of it. Mind you have repeated for 50 years, now is the time to say goodbye. Our body is also speaking the truth. We have already a lot of challenges in the body at the age of the 50. In those days when you used to think, you don't feel that. Question is, the intention is, and the question is, do I want to live in peace and happiness? Yes. Do I want to drop my comfort zone and impulsive, habitual, repetitive thought pattern? If you say yes, you will be able to find happiness. At least, I should find out, I'm 66, another 15, 20 years, I should live in peace and happiness. Why to repeat the same stuff again and again? But my mind does not want imaginary rope. Did you understand now the meaning of the imaginary rope? The event that took place 20 years ago and I carry the baggage, imaginary rope. You have to untie it. How? By understanding, by knowledge, by telling the mind enough is enough. I don't want you. Please leave me alone, leave me free. But if we don't leave it, we perpetuate suffering. Are you understanding? We perpetuate suffering. I have seen one couple who just left me. They were with me almost for the last 7 or 8 months. It took 8 months for a wife to drop those thoughts of anger, agitation against her husband, which happened 20 years ago. I don't want to tell you because if the couple hears their story, they will say you have exposed me. So that is, it took 8 months. We perpetuate our suffering because of those thoughts, feeling, and emotion. Remember, feeling and experiencing the situation outside is responsible for my stress, anxiety, duality, fear, failure, and frustration. Can any situation ever create fear, failure, and frustration? Or it is my mental interpretation, imaginary rope? I hold on to the imaginary rope with those thoughts and the feelings. I continue it. I repeat it. How I repeat it? Oh, you are responsible for repetition. Why you appear before me? Come on, I'm living with you, so I'm living. But I have a fear. If I leave you, then I will lose lot of stuff. Did I tell you that I read in the New York Times Post one woman wrote, she is under 42, 43. She wrote it that, I'm 43, I have $1 million in the bank account, now I hate my husband. So tell me the way to secure $1 million at the time of divorce, because I want to divorce my husband, but I don't want to lose $1 million. It's an open letter to I don't know what answer people have given. I'm not interested in that. I don't have $1 million. So, so if you have $1 million, I should have left. Why should I leave? I said, you be happy with yourself and let me be happy with myself. Whatever you want, I will give you. What we are discussing, the very function of the mind in ignorance, function of the mind in wisdom. Two options. We have a choice. When the lion becomes old, his cubs have grown up, they become adult, they fight with their dad and remove from the herd. Now the lion is totally dependent because now he cannot catch the prey and they die their own deaths. Why I told you the story, when we live into that cycle or vicious cycle of anxiety and stress, we die a lion death. I'm sorry, I'm a little tough. You have to think of it. Whatever the responsibilities, if I had already done it. What else? Why should I carry the baggage? So those who feel they are my precious baggage that I'm holding on, that's an imaginary row. So our master says, ask the questions, but are these feelings of the baggage truly who I am? Or they are temporary thought and feeling arise in my mental consciousness? And if they are temporary, what is required? Self-inquiry. I have to sit down, contemplate, and reflect. I don't allow those thoughts to take over me. The life will change. Sometime because these repeat thoughts creates many grooves in your mind. Very grooves, very deep grooves. Then how you express yourself? You become rude. You don't understand me, you tell everyone, including your near and dear ones. Have you said this? Don't tell me. Think of it. Think in your mind. You don't understand me. The moment your mind makes that statement, go into your room, close the door, sit down, and ask yourself, do I understand myself before I claim that you don't understand me? Don't be so serious. Do I understand myself? Before I react to the people near and dear ones that you don't understand me, self-inquiry will help you. When your mind says, I'm not able to cope with the stress or suffering, I'm not able to cope living with him or her, ask yourself, are these limitations which I have created for myself are real or false? Imaginary rope or the real rope? You will find the answer yourself. I'm not able to cope with you. You have given me so much of pain. Your mind is thinking in imagination. Why you allow outer situation to affect you? Our perceptions, first, of the event, interpretation of that event by the ignorant mind, then we have an emotional reaction, and then we create a personality with a specific behavior and attitude that causes the fear, failure, and frustration all the time. All comes from the mind. Mind is the word. So if mind is creating all our suffering, then who we are in relation to the mind? The Eastern wisdom says we are not the mind. Whatever is happening in the mind is not me. Then who am I? Then Master says we are the real self of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. But where is the problem? The root of the problem lies in our misunderstanding, or you can say identification with the mind. Imaginary rope identifies with the donkey, and the donkey keeps sitting. I don't want to move unless the rope is untied. Is this identification true? Ask the question. If this identification is not true, then why I'm living with it? Only the self-inquiry, questioning the thoughts that enters into the mind causing the stress. I have to question it. I have not to take for granted. No, I cannot live with, But don't you see the jailer lives with the hardcore criminals in the same campus? The jailer remains free and happy. Prisoners are there. But why we are not able to separate the repeated thoughts, impulsive nature? Because there is a lack of thinking. Why there is a lack of thinking? I don't want to do this self-inquiry. I have taken for granted two things. I have taken for granted that I am in stress, and I have taken for granted that you are causing me the suffering. I take for granted these two statements. They keep on repeating in my life. Don't tell me, but I know it is the fact. Eastern wisdom always tells the truth. I'm not saying any truth, I'm just telling you the principles of Eastern wisdom. Whether you may believe it or you may not believe it. No, it's not a question of belief. You have to examine it. And when you examine, you recognize that I have taken for granted that I am in stress. Why? Because you caused me the stress. Now analyze these two statements. Can any situation, person, relation outside cause me the stress? If my mind does not give the interpretation that you are causing me the stress. My mind gives the interpretation. You are so dear to me, and you told me crazy? Enough is enough. Let me divorce. Crazy word. Ask yourself, does the word crazy gives you this stress? Have you not read, heard, spoken the word many a times? At those times, did you find you had the stress? No. But I take for granted, how dare you told me that I am crazy? Are you getting it? I believe so. We all are serious. Same thing, you are rude. You are rude. You are crazy. You don't understand me. Please understand yourself. Now, what happens? Identification. I was just talking about the identification with the mind, then my mental content. Here is I, here is the mind, here are the contents of the mind. They are always separate. So, what is meditation? In meditation, you recognize that there is a big space between the two. This is totally different, and this is one I is independent, permanent, and this mind and its contents are constantly changing. I have to do nothing with this mind, and you are free. That is the goal of meditation. So this mind claims I am the mind. So when I am the mind, then I have all the thoughts and feeling and emotions, and which happened 20 years ago, and now, so I am the mind now. So then there is no release of any stress. Self-inquiry is required. Without self-inquiry, we cannot reach to the conclusion that all these repeated thoughts are not me, they belong to the mind. Stress is not situational, it is my mental interpretation of the situation causes me the stress. If I don't give the wrong interpretation, there is no stress. We have to break the cycle of identification. Can it happen in a day? Try this. Consistent listening and learning is only the first step. Contemplation and reflection. I have to sit down. And the simple way, what is the simple approach every day? In the evening before you go to sleep, find out how many times you were into anxiety, fear, failure, frustration. Write it down. Take up the first, this anxiety. So this anxiety in relationship to the situation or a person or a statement or a feeling, where they belong to. They belong to the mind. What do I feel now while doing the self-inquiry? At present I am feeling calm, but I am still using the same statement. But why I feel the calm? Because there is a de-identification by contemplation and reflection. So half of the problem is solved. Then you practice meditation to recognize and realize that I am is here and I possess the mind which is here. So what happens when I possess? Whatever I possess, I have to put it into order. You have refrigerator. Is it in order? Yes. Phone, is it in order? Yes. Car, it is in order? Yes. Same thing with the mind. Put this into order. What to do? Tell the mind, I'm not running after the same repeated thoughts. Let me drop it and check. And you live your daily life and you're free. Are you thinking, is it so easy? Yes, it is very easy if you are a seeker. But you want to continue to keep your ego means those contents of the mind of reaction, failure and frustration in one compartment of the mind, and in the second compartment you are practicing meditation. Nothing is going to happen. You will feel and experience peace and calmness after the practice. It may remain for an hour or so, but you will not be able to discover until you remove that compartment completely. I believe you're getting it. You all are mature people doing immature things. So ask yourself how many times I was immature. Even at this age, have a guilt. Let the guilt change your thought pattern. Have a guilt. Even at this age, I'm doing this. I'm acting like a kid. I'm repeating the same thing. Anyhow, close your eye. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. And find out the place for meditation. Place. Place for meditation. So you are aware of the place outside your body. It is an objective space. Remember, the place in the beginning should be place in the beginning. After that, once you live into that state of meditation, you can be doing you can live into the meditative state even while standing, lying down, but in the beginning it is good to be sitting place in the beginning. Become aware of the space. Become aware of the space. Why? That is where we want the mind to recognize there is a space between all your mental stuff and you. So are you aware of this? Yes, very good. And now become aware, feel the position of the body and you. Remember. What do you remember? The position of the body is one thing and you is totally another. Can you say you are the body? No. We already understand it. So just keep that wisdom in you. So place in a room, body is there, position of the body and the posture. These are the preparatory steps. Why we have to do the preparatory steps? Why we have to do the preparatory steps? Simple answer, because we have yet to recognize that peace behind body and the mind. That is one answer. Many answers. We will continue our journey. So now being comfortable. So how you become comfortable? Simple. I have been telling you, simply change the direction. So change the direction means what? Change the direction of what? Direction of the mind. So when you change the direction of the mind, what happens? It is known as shift your awareness and attention from the world to inside. That is the simple way. And the simplest way I've been telling you, look at the neck joint. Looking means what? You are looking mentally. How you look mentally? By the feeling, by awareness, by knowledge of the neck joint. So when you know, you feel. When you know, you feel. You are aware of neck joint. This means you are asking the mind, you're asking that mind to move at a subtler level. But again, you added subtler level. Yes, because we are not looking neck joint by our eyes. Why we do that? We move inside. You can only move inside mentally, not with these five senses. So the moment you change the direction, or I will say you shift your awareness and attention, you start experiencing sensation, comfort, and steadiness. I don't feel it, you are saying, so I'm feeling it. No. If you are not feeling it, simply means the mind is still wandering somewhere else. Oh, so what should I do? Repeat it. Look at the neck joint again. You know, you feel, and I can say you are aware. You know, you feel, you are aware. All are not done by the sense organs. It is done by the mind. That is the meaning. Again, I'm explaining even the small things which people don't explain. The shifting your awareness and attention. And then what happens? You experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So even at any joint, the moment you start experiencing sensation, comfort, and steadiness, you can do the final part of being comfortable. Look at the entire body. Look mentally. Feel mentally. Aware of the entire body. Mind can create an instant amaze about the body from the top of the head to the toes. And be there and experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Now, after changing the direction because of our experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness, we be carefree. So, in that state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness, I'm giving you, I will use the same example, become aware and visualize the sky. Sky, infinite sky, limitless. Limitless? I'm also in the same space in the sky. Is it limitless? No, changed the I have changed the space. No, you cannot change it. Same way, the birds are flying in the sky. Just visualize the sky and the birds are flying from one direction to the other, then reversing the direction, and you are aware that nothing happens to the space or the sky. You are already experiencing the space in your mind. Is it not? When you visualize the space, or it is in your mind. Oh, so I already have a space in the mind. And then the thought comes and goes. Let the thought come and go. They are like the birds. Nothing happens to the sky if the birds keep flying or leave it or disappear. Same thing to that mental space. So now this you have to, even the crazy thought comes, but let it come. The bald eagle flies in the sky, or the doe bird fly in the sky. What happens to the sky? Why your mind says that I have a negative thought pattern and thought disturb me? Because we discussed. Because, can you answer in your head? Because of identification. That is what I'm trying to make you understand. What is the way to de-identification? Shift your awareness attention. We have already done being comfortable. And now we are being carefree. Another understanding is that you cannot throw the darkness filling into your trash bag. What you do, you switch on the light. Did you get it? So any crazy good thought, bad thought, any thought comes, you are not concerned about it. You are only aware of the light here, that is the sky. Only then the mind can begin transformation. But then only it can begin the transformation. So now in that state, we look at, so just check it. Place, position, posture is intact. Good. You are experiencing sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Good. Your mind is living within. Good. Now you look deep inside the forehead in the space and hit that space with the Om Shanti. Will anything happen to the space? No. Instead of many thoughts, you have many thoughts of Om Shanti. You are replacing it. So you just drop and hit that space with Om Shanti. Hit that space with Om Shanti. With Om Shanti. And now you start the long, deep, and the hissing breath into the chest. Long, deep into the chest or rib keys. Here, breathing. You're hitting Om Shanti into the space. Their state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness is there. Continue. Continue. You know, your mind. So the intellect knows it. The intellect does not resist, but the mind resists. So when the mind resists, your breath rate will change. Breath rate will change, your body will start moving. Here, many thoughts will enter into mind. What to do at that moment? Say with an intellect. Just say a thought. What thought? I will continue. I will continue and bypass the mental resistance. Why? It is the step, we will discuss, it is the step known as titiksha. What is titiksha? It is endurance. Where the endurance lives? Endurance lives in the intellect. And that is why you say with an intellect. But continue breathing unabated. Continue dropping Om Shanti. And then you see we are a winner. In the beginning, we have to endure it. So when you endure it, what is going to happen after a few weeks of regular practice? Then there is a joy of doing it. Joy of doing it means what? The intellect follows the mind. No, mind follows the intellect. Mind follows the intellect. Instead, mind reminds you of the past memories we discussed in the beginning. Continue breathing. Continue breathing and dropping the Om Shanti. Your mind will have many excuses. Bypass all those excuses. Now stop it. Stop the breathing part, but continue to drop Om Shanti inside the head. While dropping Om Shanti, just be aware or feel the flow of the breath. The flow of the breath. So you see, you are looking at the flow of the breath and you are just noticing the mind moves inside when the breath goes in, mind moves outside when the breath flows out, but at the same time, mind continues to drop the Om Shanti and continue to drop the Om Shanti. Now the previous steps will help you to continue the journey. What is that? The previous steps, what are the previous steps? We simply know it. When you know it, when you know, when you know the previous steps, it will help you, it will help you to continue the journey, what it means. For example, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The mind may cause you to move the body, but you are you are keeping sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Some thoughts, some thought is dominating. You remember, you are, these are the birds flying in the sky, and I am the sky. Simply, I am the sky. Say it. Let it you fly. And then in that state, it is very easy to drop Om Shanti, Om Shanti with. So now check that whether you, with every breath in, is your mind saying Om Shanti with every breath out? Your mind is saying Om Shanti, or while in or out you say Om, and in and out you say Shanti. Both are okay. But don't change the rate of the breath. So you see, that is the subtler perception, my friend. What is perception? It is understanding. What is understanding? It is the knowledge. How knowledge transforms our life is taught by Eastern wisdom. And again, I'm requesting you all, when you do follow the audio file, you reach to this state, even after I say I chant the mantra, but stay there in the state for another 15-20 minutes to check, can you live into that state for a longer period? Why, that is an indication you are progressing, you are really making it happen. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. How are you, Charlie?
Hi, I'm good, peaceful, and I felt present but separate. I could hear you, but I was detached.
Very good. Because there is already a distance between the two, but because of attachment that causes the problem, and feeling good, that is, feeling detached is good. How are you, Anne?
I feel very good. I feel very contented and very quiet and calm.
Beautiful.
So,
Yes, these changes comes, a sense of humility comes, a sense of clarity is there, a sense of contentment we feel from inside. They all are coming from inside. It is not situational. That we have to keep in mind. So even if the thought distract me, no, it is situational, but situation is still, peace is there. So that sense of conviction comes to our life, the life changes. How are you, John?
Hey, Girish, I'm fine. What you were saying at the end there about being able to tell whether you're progressing, that made me realize that I still have work to do, that I still need to progress.
Yes, I said that once you listen and practice through the audio file, you continue the journey. You continue the last step for another 15 minutes or maybe half an hour or little more than that. So keep that window open. Don't be in a hurry. It will serve two purposes. This is one, to know if I continue to stay for another 15 minutes or half an hour, obviously progress is there. But if it is not, the progress is required. How long it will take you to progress, sir?
Right.
Yes, how are you, Mead?
Oh, I, I feel happy, and I feel calm, and I feel that I've found more of a balance
Yes,
between letting my mind take over and staying
yes,
steady.
yes. We have to check if the peace and the calmness continues throughout the day, another day, every day, until the next session. That is another measurement of the progress.
Mm.
Very good. I think I covered everyone. That is all for today.